What's up, guys? Stoked to have you back to Snowboarding Secrets mobility session, and today we're gonna work on from like the top of our body and down. And if you haven't been doing this, I got a great idea slash recommendation for you, which would be go ahead and take some music, find some music, pop it on your phone, get something that like feels pretty good and feels pretty awesome. So while we're going through this entire session, that you have some music that really helps you relax and feel pretty amazing. So on that note, let me cue up the timer for this bad boy, and then we will get started. Cool? So the first thing we're going to start with is just simply, and I know my head's almost a little cut off, apologize for that. We're going to simply just take our right hand, place it on our head, and we're just going to simply start stretching out our neck. So our right hand on top of our head, pulling our neck to the right, and we're just going to simply feel the stretch down in our neck, down in our traps, down to our shoulder. Just feel the stretch. About 30 seconds, 45 seconds, just feeling the stretch on your neck. And as we're doing this, just remember to breathe. Deep inhale in, deep exhale out. Find the flow, feel the vibe. Let's go ahead and take our left hand and go stretch our left. Take our left hand, put it on top of our head, and we're going to let our neck tilt to the left. We're going to hang out here for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. Excellent. Now let's take our chin and place it over our right shoulder. And we're going to look over our right shoulder. Now let's keep our shoulders, hips, and knees stacked and nice and aligned. But imagine you're going snowboarding and all you are doing is trying to look over your right shoulder. The more that we can get our neck to rotate, it's going to help us looking over our blind spot, being able to stay in a strong, nice, aligned position while looking over the right shoulder. I also like to think about my right eye is trying to look as far right as I can without turning my spine. And as you're doing this, you can gently look down and look up and stretch that neck out while you're turning to the right. Let's hang out here for a few more seconds. Excellent. Let's bring ourselves back to the center. Go ahead and shake out your shoulders a little bit, shake out your neck, and then we will be looking over our left shoulder this time, getting that neck to rotate without actually rotating our hips or our spine. Nicely done. From here, we're going to allow our toes and our hips to point forward as much as possible while we take a rotation of our spine. So I want my spine to turn as much as possible, but keeping our hips forward. And then we're just going to ease ourselves into that rotation. Feel the tension as much as possible. Bring it back like 30 degrees and then go ahead and move back to the right. So we're rotating 30 degrees back to normal and then pushing that 30 degrees back. And we're trying to find as much rotation out of the spine as possible. And see if every time you go and rotate again towards the right, that you can get just a little bit further. Feel that stretch. We're going to do this a handful of times. We're going to keep going. Find that stretch. Ten more seconds. Continue to drive that Allow that body to move, allow that spine to move without using your hips. Excellent. Let's do the same thing. We're going to work our way to the left side, trying to allow ourselves to rotate as much as possible to the left. Ease that tension by bringing it back 30 degrees, and then try to find a little bit more tension, a little bit more range of motion out of your spine without using your hips too much. I like to do this more as a active or dynamic movement, so I don't just awkwardly hang out really twisted. I feel like it could be a little rough on the back. Let's go ahead and do one more of these. Nice rotation. Excellent. From there, we are going to get back into a normal snowboard stance. Allow your chest to sink down. Get your chest to go all the way down to the top of your legs. You can either place your hands on the ground or go ahead and cross your arms and allow yourself to hang down. We're going to spend a little bit longer here in this position than we normally do. If you need to take a break at any point, please do so. And as a friendly reminder, I like to keep my knees bent so they're not locked out pressing down, that I do have a slight flex in my knees. And then I'm going to let myself hands down, let that chest get onto the top of the legs, fold the shoulders or fold the arms. Let's hang out here for about 2 minutes. "20 seconds left." Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in, and let's go ahead and gently rise back up without getting too lightheaded, of course. From here, let's get into a nice wide stance. Now, one of my favorite things to do on a snowboard is really funky, weird, awkward, but awesome grabs. And one of them, or two grabs that we're going to be trying to translate into today for fun, because snowboarding's every time, is we're going to start learning about seatbelts and crail. So whether you're a regular rider or goofy rider, you're going to take your backhand and you're going to take your backhand and start to reach for the opposite toe. It's almost really far away. And so we're going to reach down. And if you need to have a flex in your lead leg, so backhand reaching all the way towards your toe, flex that knee, and then see if we can hang out here and try to straighten that lead leg, get a little bit of a stretch. If you feel like your lead leg's not getting a stretch, you can rotate your back. And if you're really freaking awesome, you can even take your backhand and pretend that you're reaching all the way across to where your nose would actually be. So this would be my nose way over here. So I want to actually try to stretch as much as possible. And you're going to feel that stretch through your back, through your arms, through your leg. And let's hang out here for a little bit. And this is called a crail grab, which is your backhand grabbing your nose. So as you're feeling pretty comfortable and confident, start on your toes, and then as you progress, try to reach out as far as possible. Excellent. We're going to be here not too much longer. Then we're going to switch. There we go. Okay. Now, without actually raising our chest up, let's take our opposite arm. Is going to be your lead hand is now going to go to your back toe, and let's do the same thing. Now, if you're feeling pretty awesome, try to reach all the way to the end of the board where that board would be, or simply reach for your toe. We're going to make this a little bit dynamic. So let's go ahead and grab crail again, which is our first grab. And this time, let's see, this is going to be a challenge, but it's going to be good. Is see if you can flex your lead knee and grab and stay in that position. So you're almost like in a lateral lunge. See if you can be more flex in your lead knee now. Grabbing here. Yeah, so we're going to get a little twisted. There we go. Okay, feeling pretty awesome. And so I'm trying to keep this back leg extended. I'll place a lot of weight on my lead leg and grab my toe. Without raising our chest, let's shift our position and go to the opposite and grab our opposite grab, which would be our seatbelt. Excellent. Now this stretch does change because I've flexed one knee and let the other one be straight. I definitely feel it. So without spending too much time here, let's go ahead and move back into that first crail grab. I'm going to hang out here for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and switch. A little bit of dynamicness. 1, 2, 3. Now this time when we go to crail, let's reach all the way over and try to grab the nose where the nose would be. So for crail, get in that stretch. We're going to hang out here for 3, 2, 1. Now let's switch and go to seatbelt. See if you can really reach for that. Way over there. Yeah, pretty freaking awesome. Let's go ahead and go back to crail. Woo! For 3, 2, 1. Let's go back to seatbelt. 3, 2, 1. Now this time we're going to simply take our hands, we're going to bring them up, and let's try to get into a nice lateral lunge. Let's get as much weight into our right leg as possible. And here, this may be really challenging, really difficult, and if that is, that's okay. You can place your hands on the ground. You can modify it so that we're nice and strong if you need to. Ideally, I want my heel to be flat on the ground, my chest up, and my knee pressed over my toe. We're going to hang out here for just a little bit, so if you need to take a break, by all means, do so. But this can be, this is a really good, it's a really good exercise for us to focus on, because when we're in the back seat trying to like save ourselves, we can be in a nice flex position as well as be able to have the strength. So from here, let's go ahead and place our hands on the ground, ease up some of that tension just a little bit, and then take one hand, for me it's going to be my right hand, and let's just start massaging our knee over our toe a little bit, trying to move our knee in multiple different directions so I can feel a little bit of stretch in my knee, or sorry, my ankle, or I can feel a little bit of stretch or building pressure in my hip. I might get my... Okay, let's go ahead and walk our hands over to our crail side. Let's extend our right leg, flex our left leg, and let's see if we can hang out here for a count. My ankle has less flexibility, so this side is way harder for me, but we're going to hang out here for a little longer, and then we will massage our legs. Ooh, this one's challenging for me, that's for sure. Excellent. Let's take our hands, go ahead and brace ourselves. I'm going to ease up the tension a little bit, take my left hand, and I'm going to start massaging the ankle, moving the knee around, getting a little bit of movement in my hip. Excellent. I don't know about you guys, but my heart rate is going. From here, let's walk our hands back to the center. Go ahead and stand up. Oh, let's just take a second to shake out our legs. Take a nice little breather. Woo. Excellent. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to work into our squat position once again. So we've worked left, right. Let's go ahead and work the center. Let's go ahead and keep our chest up as much as we can, allowing our knees to press over our toes. And let's sink our tailbone as close to the ground as possible. So we're not trying to do this. Notice my tailbone hasn't gone anywhere. My tailbone, I want to get that as low to the ground as possible. We're going to hang out here for about a minute. So as we hang out here for a minute, just think about breathing. And we're actually going to actively push our knees out and feel that knees out. When I snowboard, I constantly think about keeping my knees out because I want to have my knees in a biomechanically awesome position. If my knees are fading in, it's not so good. This is a great way to train your stance and train your body position as we sit in the squat. Nicely done. From here, let's place our hands on the ground. We're going to take our right leg, step it forward. Our left leg goes back. We're going to be in a nice lunge position. From here, let's go ahead and place both hands on the ground to the inside of the knee. And let's go ahead and press our knee forward and drives our hips forward to the front of the mat. And we should be feeling a stretch in our lead leg as well as an extension of our back leg. Now, as we're sitting in this position for a little longer than normal, I want you to really think about letting your body sink down and stretch out the hips. Now let's go ahead and switch positions. I'm going to bring my right leg back, left leg forward. Again, finding that nice position, allowing my back leg to go back. I want to drive my hips forward. Let's hang out here for a minute and a half. From here, let's transition into child's pose. We're going to bring our left leg back, allow our knees to be stacked underneath our hips. We're going to allow our arms to go as far out as possible, letting our tailbone sink between our heels and sit. We're going to hang out here in child's pose. Now I want you to feel the stretch in your shoulders, lengthening of your back and pressing your hips further back, allowing you to sink deeper into this position. From here, we're going to take our right leg and we're going to step it forward. Allow your foot to go around your knee and almost in a half cross position. And we're going to get into pigeon. Pigeon's like one of my ultimate favorite hip stretches. So then as we allow our knee to touch the ground, bend, we're going to take our left leg and lengthen it and let our chest sit on top of our knee. We're going to hang out here for a little longer than normal, for about a minute and a half. But ideally, as we're in this position, I want you to lay out with your chest over your knee and really let feel the stretch in your hamstrings and your glute. Allow your hips to move around as needed to feel the pull, feel the tension. I'm going to hang out here for about another minute. Let's go ahead and push our hands up, rising our chest just a little bit or a lot. Feel that stretch. So let's go hang out here for 30 seconds. Just feel this position. Allow your hip to sink further down. Feeling the stretch. Excellent. Let's go ahead and return our right leg back to neutral. Let's go ahead and take our left leg. Go ahead and cross your left leg around your right knee, planting that knee on the ground, allowing our chest to sink down closer to the ground, extending that back leg out as far as possible, feeling the stretch in your glutes and your hamstring. Excellent. Nice, looking good. Let's go ahead and extend our arms up, raising our chest. Feel the stretch in the hip. We also can feel the stretch in your abdominals. I'm going to hang out here for 30 seconds. Excellent. Let's bring ourselves into our tailbone. Let's go ahead and get our feet together. I'm pressed up against the wall, but go ahead and do butterfly. Bring your heels as close to your center of mass as possible. And then what I'd like to do is just sit here, breathe, and for the next minute, just think about what you want your season to look like, any awesome tricks that you want to do, and just start being in line and in tune with your body so you can feel as awesome as possible, so you can make snowboarding way more fun. So we're going to hang out here, and if you need to stretch out, you can take your right hand, press your right hip down, left hand, left hip down. Do as you need. Awesome, my dudes. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you every single Monday and Friday to vibe and work on mobility. Woo!